I have heard that when Poulsen in the 1969-70s saw Verner's first tiny little sketch of the lamp, he immediately knew that he wanted it for Louis Poulsen. My name is Carin Panton. I'm the daughter of architect and designer Verner Panton and Marianne Panton. For my father, light was always part of his creative universe. He knew that the interplay of form, color and light determine how spaces and objects appear. Verner Panton did not approach his work with the intention of designing something which was deliberately timeless. He was above all an imaginative and curious spirit, deeply fascinated with form, patterns and colors. And that was his creative language. He never followed any trends. He had his own unique style. My father met Paul Henningsen and Arne Jacobsen when he was an architecture student. Arne Jacobsen and Paul Henningsen were already established names when Verner started his career. They became my father's mentors, and later their relationship developed into a mutually respectful one. A light fixture should not be glary. One should not be able to look directly at the light source. He learned this from Paul Henningsen as a student, and it fitted well into his own design philosophy. Of course, his design language was very different from Paul Henningsen's. His friendship with Paul Henningsen may very well have sparked my father's imagination. They were always having long and lively discussions. Their design language was very different, so you cannot really speak of competition. Their designs also spoke to different audiences. When my father was very young, he was briefly married to Paul Henningsen's stepdaughter, Tove Kemp. Paul Henningsen, his wife Inga and Tove became lifelong friends of my parents. The collaboration between my father and Louis Poulsen began when I was very young. My mother told me that it was Paul Henningsen who introduced Verner to Jens Castrop-Olsen at a lunch. My father and Castrop-Olsen immediately got along very well, and soon after Verner was introduced to Christian Herzum and Ole Herskin, both of them central figures at Louis Poulsen. They all became not only good business partners, but also my parents' lifelong, very close friends. It was actually Ole Herskin's partner Jeanette who modeled on several of the images advertising my father's lamps. My father always did the art direction of the PR campaigns. When it comes to the making of the Pantella, I have heard that when Castrop-Olsen in the 1969-70s saw Verner's first tiny little sketch of the lamp, he immediately knew that he wanted it for Louis Poulsen. And the Pantella has been part of the collection ever since. It's hard to say why the Pantella became a classic. At the time, it might have been the novelty and freshness of his design that spoke to people. The beauty in its elegant lines, pure geometrical form, and the soft light from the translucent shade. Over time, this has made the Pantella a classic, which people continue to love. It is also very recognizable. It does not belong to a specific style. Rather, it exists in its own. Although the white Pantella might be the most well-known, my father's own favorites were the ones with the chrome stand, which reflect the light as well as the surroundings. Verner was always fascinated with reflective materials such as mirrors and chrome. I am very happy that together with Louis Poulsen we have brought back the originals in celebration of my father's 100th birthday.